The following episode may contain sensitive content. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome everyone
to The Show Must Go On. I'm Tracey.
And I am Nikki, and we are here to judge. Yay!
I
Do you
missed
hear
that
a familiar voice here?
Who could that be?
Who is it? Who is it?
Did
It's
you miss
our
me, bitches?
Yes, we did.
Better have. I always do.
Well,
I would
everyone,
always do that. What would Giovanni say?
yes, yeah. I always actually say
you
Giovanni
think?
told me this or some shit like that. Well,
Right. I'm in your
Giovanni is
dreams.
here as a guest today.
You're Freddy Krueger.
I'm wearing the. Speaking of horror, I'm wearing the Billy Loomis T-shirt.
Wow. What a
Wow.
time. What a
Like-
time.
He's so hot.
ketchup.
Steve Ulrich.
Love that.
Yeah.
Another reason I loved Scream.
So
Mm.
good. What a great franchise. Okay, so everyone, welcome Giovanni. We have him as a guest today because the movie that we're discussing, he actually recommended it to us. And we're just really excited to have you back for today.
Yeah.
So let's catch up really quickly. We get like a 2 to 3 minutes catch up and then we dive into it. Anybody watching anything fun aside of Squid Games?
I've not started Squid Game.
That's like
I-
the one thing I watched.
I started it too, and I gotta say,
Mhm.
holy shit, how does this show get better? You know, I'm sad this is, the final season.
Okay, so I will say, I think it's one of the best shows of like
Ever made?
decades. Yeah, I think it's great. And I did see though that they may be doing an American.
Oh yes,
Oh.
they started
I
productions
know.
already.
Yes, that's
for
what I
that.
heard.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Why
start
do we have
filming
to
in like
ruin
December.
everything?
I agree. I think they should just leave it.
America wants to have
Why?
their pee-pee and everything.
Ay, Dios mío. Like, can we stop? We already took the land. Like,
Yeah,
I know.
can't get
I
enough.
know.
they can
Yeah.
never get enough. We can
They
never
can't
get
get
enough.
enough.
It's already like Squid Game over here. So like
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
we
Right.
don't need
It's
it.
embarrassing.
It's
Oh.
already the Hunger Games here, so
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
please, we don't need it. So I'm like, a little bit of an eye roll there. But I did think the third season wrapped up very nicely. So if you haven't watched it, it's worth the watch. It was
Yeah,
a quick 6 hours.
I'm in the middle of it. Well, I'm actually almost done with it, and I already think this is like, I feel like this is an impeccable show.
Mhm.
I can't say like, oh, I can't pinpoint to anything that would be quote unquote wrong, but each season they have made me feel like, wow, how the writing, the story. So I'm excited for everyone that's out there and that is like actually watching the show to watch this fine, because it's like the second part, I want to say is season 3 or something like that. It was like 2 parts. Yeah, the second part, it is as good as the first part. It is as good as the first and second season. So recommendation station out there. And I did watch. Damn, that dog has been barking. Pobrecito. Do you guys hear
It's
him?
hot. Yeah.
Or her?
No.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
That's okay.
God. I'm so sorry, guys.
That's
There's
fine.
nothing I can do. I just feel like they have them in the balcony or something.
That's
Why
fine.
is so
Apartment
hot?
living.
I don't, I think
Wait,
like
the
they're
dog is
cleaning.
outside?
Yeah, I think so because I'm
Well,
like, I can hear him right on my window.
I don't
so
hear
he
him, but
wants
then I don't hear shit. So
That's true. Okay,
he wants to
so
go inside.
I did watch this season of The Bear. That's the one that I binged.
Okay.
The 10 episodes.
Giovanni's favorite show.
Yeah. I I don't know how I
I
feel about this season.
here it comes.
I haven't
This is the
heard great things.
first time that I don't know how I feel about this a season
Is
of
it
The
season
Bear.
4?
4.
Okay.
I think 1, 2, 3 was great.
Mhm.
I don't want to say anything about how I feel about it because I want you guys to actually watch it and let me know how you feel.
You
I-
mean Tracy?
Or
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
yes.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Joe, like one episode
Hell
into the
no.
first season, he was like, I'm good,
Now,
which is fair, but
now the
I'm definitely gonna watch it.
performances, every episode I was like, she's gonna get nominated. He's gonna get nominated. Like the performances are just beyond. Like, uh,
The
just
acting is definitely great. Hey, I saw the first 2 seasons. I
the
did.
acting
Oh, you
is
did.
just top fucking tier. Like, wow.
Right.
And in season 3, I remember there was like 2 episodes that is just in the kitchen the whole time, and it's like one
Mhm.
shift. And I had so much anxiety, and I kept thinking, how did they film this? Because,
Yeah.
oh my God, that must drain them after.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but Tracy, once you watch it, we'll talk about it and you let me know how I feel. I don't want to give you any.
No, that's fine. I kind of have a feeling like they should have just ended it after the third season.
Yeah. I
You know?
think it's gonna come for a season 5
Mm,
because it has to, kind of.
okay.
But that should probably be, they should just close it off there.
Done.
Done.
Yeah.
Please don't, yeah, we're done with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else you guys have watched?
Well, other than Love Island USA,
Oh
which
my
I don't
God.
want to get
I
into it
know.
right now.
A
Um,
whole another episode
I
because I get it.
yeah, that's a whole episode and a half. I started binge watching From. You guys know that show From From?
I
From
think
it's a
you have told me about it.
it's a it's a horror series. It came out the third. There's 3 seasons out now. There's a 4th season getting filmed.
I
I've
heard
never
it has great reviews.
Yes, amazing reviews. I've never watched it. I started watching it last week and I'm hooked. Like there are jump scares. There are scenes where I'm like
Ooh,
literally screaming.
I'm so
And
excited.
it's very rare to find a TV series that's scary like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The storyline is very good.
What
I'm in the
network?
middle. I don't know. I watch it on Prime, but I don't know what network it's on. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's like an FX series.
Oh, okay, okay.
There's cursing in it, so it's definitely like an FX series or something like that.
Got it.
And it's very gory. Um, Great reviews. My only concern is that I hope it does not turn out to be like a Lost series. I don't know if you guys ever watched
My
Lost,
God, yeah. I
where it's
had
just
to
like,
stop.
I
Yeah.
mean, I finished Lost and then it's like, it just started getting weird, where
Yeah.
we're like, where are we going?
Yeah.
It's not getting like that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it reminds
They
me a
should
little bit
close
of
it
it.
out soon.
I'm still in season 2, so they're
Okay.
filming season 4 now, so I don't know. But I'm like, please don't make it like a Lost thing. But I'm hooked. I'm really hooked on it. And that's what, other than Love Island, when I'm trying not to shrink my brain so much, I watch
I
From.
know. We're gonna need some therapy after Love
Oh my
Island
God,
to
you have
like,
no
hey, you
idea.
remember when you were smart? Let's go back to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. From makes me think where I'm like, oh, okay, we're
Yes.
here. Let's use our brain.
What's
That's funny.
overrated?
Yeah.
Overrated. Don't use your brain.
Thinking is
Our
overrated.
president isn't using his, so
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
true.
gosh.
My God, it's okay. Last week's episode, we decided to really, really burn down white straight men. So we did our
Oh,
jobs.
great.
Yeah.
Speaking of, real quick, I am totally taking a detour. So the big news is Jeff Bezos getting married in Venice, his $200 million wedding. My thing, Oprah and Gail showed up together. So they are a couple, right?
Are we still talking about that? You guys think so? I don't think so.
I do. I
You
a
do?
thousand yes.
Like, let's be honest.
Stedman is never around. He is so a cover. I mean,
Oh,
when you're
when
married
Oprah
that
talked
long,
when Oprah talked about Gail and like what a good person she is and like
she's
crying
the
over her,
mother. She's the sister you never had.
she has never once said that about Stedman. It's
Well,
no shame in the game, sweetie, but like
but Tracy, have you
come on.
asked the lesbians? Because you have to ask the ones that know.
Carrie.
yeah, ask your
Ask
sister.
your sister.
I know, I gotta ask my sister.
Yeah,
Ask Melinda. Be like, yo, girly pops. Tell
I
The
me.
don't.
lesbians out there, please let
Yes.
me know. Am I right? Because I think they are. And I don't care, but
Yeah.
I just want to be right. I just
That's all that matters here.
I kind of like moved
goal in
on
life.
from that, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they go everywhere together.
They do, but I just thought that they were just like two.
Hey, they didn't go to the universe together.
That's true. But
She
Oprah
chose
said,
Katy Perry.
oh, and speaking of Katy Perry, her and Orlando Bloom are
Oh,
Breaking up.
right.
donezo.
Were they
Well,
married or
are
just?
they?
I don't think they were married, but they're splitting up.
Oof.
That's what I've heard. Which,
Trouble
I
in
mean,
Paradise.
After
hey,
helping on
the
that
way
and being in the universe like that,
and the way her tour is going,
It's
yeah,
bad, right? It's
those
you've seen
TikToks are really, really
Uh,
bringing her down.
it looks. I'd be mad to spend the money to go and see that concert.
Yeah.
I would not spend money on Katy Perry.
Yeah, me either. I know. Mm-mm.
Mm,
Okay, Katy Perry corner close because I just feel like I don't even want to give her the time.
Right.
Sorry,
That's like,
I
guys.
know.
Sorry, Katy
Nope.
Perry fans. Well, moving on, we're gonna talk about, the movie that we're discussing today, which was recommended by our guest, Giovanni Guzman. By the way, Joe, thank you for the recommendation. I'm gonna go ahead and read a synopsis of it, and then we'll each give a small opinion of what we think about the movie, and then we'll just dive in. Okay, so we are discussing today the movie Straw by Tyler Perry, and it's on Netflix. A single mother navigates a series of unfortunate events, leading her down an unforeseen path where she becomes embroiled in a situation she never envisioned, finding herself at the center of suspicion in an indifferent world. Okay, let's start with Joe, since he recommended it. Tell us a really quick, what do you think about the movie?
well, first, let me start off by saying that I'm so impressed that it is a Tyler Perry film, because Tyler Perry movies, in my opinion, suck. I'm gonna just
I
say
feel
that.
like they're so extreme.
Except,
It's like,
yes, they're so extreme that, and this one was also a bit on the nose too. But I think the only movie that I really enjoyed from him was Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Why Did I Get Married was also okay, but very extreme, and Family Reunion was also okay. But after that, I just feel like, I don't know, like his movies just like, I just don't enjoy them, and I stopped watching it. And Straw was another Tyler Perry film, and people were talking about it on social media. It was number one on Netflix for a few days, and I was like, wow, it must be good, So I just put it on one day, and I was, from the beginning, I was hooked. I was like, oh
Mhm.
shit, this is different. Also, I'm a huge fan of Taraji P. Henson. I love
Yes.
her. So anything that she's in, I try to watch, which encouraged me even more to watch the film. And her performance was just fucking phenomenal in this film. Yes, the storyline is probably a bit too dramatic, but these are realistic moments that happen. I just feel like they try to consolidate it all in one day. Um, but I think Taraji needs to get nominated. I don't care what anybody else says. Like that was just a brilliant performance. Like I was exhausted watching her work
Hmm.
on that
Hmm.
screen. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Um, those are my, in summary, like those those,
Your
those are my
bullet points.
thoughts. Those are my bullet points. What
Uh,
about you guys?
you want to go, T-Bone? Or you want me to go?
Yeah, why don't you go?
I was also very impressed that it was a Tyler Perry movie. I really love Taraji as well. I think I loved the storyline. Love, love, love the storyline. I was not expecting the end of it at all.
Mhm.
It caught me completely off guard, which I think it's very interesting because it just means for me that the story was told very well, you know? And the one thing that I don't like, and he does a lot in these movies, is this like this little music in the background that is unnecessary. I think her performance was so good, she didn't need anything, you
Mm.
know? Her performance was like overtaking everything. Like she could have bring that movie anywhere, you know? So the music in the background was unnecessary. I think I loved it. And I understand not everyone is the same caliber as Taraji in the film, but I didn't care about anybody else,
Hmm.
which is, I think, the whole point of the movie. You develop this care for the leading role that's all that matters when you're watching it. So those are my thoughts, my quick thoughts. What about you, T?
I definitely agree. Taraji was amazing.
Mm.
I think she definitely carried the film for sure because
For sure.
Tyler Perry, like I've only watched a couple of his films, and I feel like most of the time you go, "What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?"
Yeah.
And there were like a couple of moments in this for me where I did that, but not with Taraji,
Yeah.
you know. Um, and I do like the the storyline in the sense of there is a message there,
Hmm.
and talking about systemic
Hmm.
issues and social class and economics, and I mean she's a single mother and mental
Hmm.
health. Like there's a
Hmm.
lot of important points in it.
Hmm.
And you feel for her, and there were some like good parts to it.
Hmm.
um so we'll start there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Love that.
yeah.
Let's just talk about that beginning right away. How her day, which says a lot about the character in the first like 2 to 3 minutes. I love when you start a movie and you already know them. You don't need
Hmm.
much. They just show you a few things, 3 lines, and you know their situation. You know, they wake up, they're in this house, noise from outside. She's giving her a bath. She gives her food, and then it's like rushing out the door, and a landlord screaming, "You're about to get evicted." And like in 3 minutes, we know that she's kind because of the way she takes care of her daughter. We also know that she's late on rent. She doesn't have enough money because she said, once I get paid, so she lives paycheck to paycheck. And but her kindness still is still in there because she does give money to that homeless person outside. which is what you were talking about, Trace, which is the message here. This is a person that is hustling and like she's not waking up at 11 a.m., not doing shit throughout the no, she's busting her ass out to provide at home, and it's still not enough.
Mhm.
And
I
it's what
mean,
you brought up, Joe, that you were exhausted watching her,
I was
you know?
exhausted. I mean, to add to what you were saying, you can not only get to know who the character is, but her living situation. They
Mm-hmm.
show the fan. You can tell it's
Mm-hmm.
hot.
Yeah, they're sweating.
She's sweating. She's sleeping on a, I think it was a, no, there was a bed, but there was no headboard.
Mm-mm.
They, she had a small TV. You know what I mean? The bathroom
Windows
didn't look, the
open.
windows
Mm-hmm.
open, the bathroom didn't look too cute. She's bathing her daughter because they have no hot water,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, yeah, it's like okay, it's like they set the scene right away. It was like, okay, this is where we are, this is who she is, this is what's happening. I
Yeah,
love that, you know.
yeah.
Um,
Struggling single mother.
Mm-hmm.
struggling
And you see
single
the
black mother, like,
right,
Mm-hmm.
and you see the pills too. So already you can tell that
mm,
someone is sick, and then obviously
Yes.
they start mentioning the daughter. So it's like you
Yes.
have a like this cute little girl who has
Yeah.
health issues, and
mhm.
yes, she's struggling financially to pay her rent. She's got a beat down car, but she's trying her best.
Yeah. She's pushing through the day. Pushing through the day with a bitch ass landlord.
Oh my God. Like that's
What a
another
fucking
thing too.
bitch.
Like part of it is like I know this feels so dramatic, like some of these people in it, like the
Mhm.
landlady and then like
Yeah,
her boss being such a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like it seems a little much, but then I'm like, I mean,
right.
you kind of have to build it up that way for it to like get to where it's going.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are bosses who are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that. Like some of them, they don't give a shit about your personal life. You
Mhm.
know, like
Yeah.
they have no sympathy whatsoever. Oh, you
No.
have a
Mm-hmm.
sick kid you got to go get from school. Not my problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is
And
it?
speaking of like bosses like that or situations like that, you know, she would come across situations where she would say, I don't have anyone. I have to go to the school for my daughter. You know, they're calling me. And I'm thinking, I remember the first time I watched that scene, I was like, I cannot imagine being her, like thinking, oh, fuck, I have to leave my job, my only main source of income, which is not even enough. It's barely
Yeah.
enough.
I
I have
still need to
to
get paid.
I still need to get
Mhm.
paid, but I
Yeah.
also like I have to run to school for my daughter. Like, what do I do? Do I leave work,
Mm-hmm.
risk getting fired? But then I need to pick up my daughter, go to the school. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I can't deal with that shit.
And I have a question for you guys. So you know what, obviously it all made sense to me at the end, you
Mhm.
know. But do you guys have any suspicion throughout the film, like specifically when, you know, when she drops off her daughter and the teacher gives her a look? I
Mhm.
had no idea. And I was like, why is she looking at her like that? Does she think
Uh-huh.
she's a neglectful mother? Like,
Right.
is that what she's thinking? And then we had that moment where she, actually goes pick her up at the school, and that that's what it seems like, that the teacher is like, I don't trust you with your daughter. I don't think, and she has that whole moment, which made me feel like validated in my feelings when she when she dropped her off. I was like, oh, that's why she was giving her a face,
Mhm.
you know?
Sure.
I didn't see it at all. I didn't
I
see it
didn't see it
coming.
coming.
When that
Yeah.
teacher waved at her with the funny look, I was just like,
Mhm.
why is she looking at her? Maybe because they're not. I don't know. I just couldn't come up with a reason.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
me
she's
either.
judging her, like I mean
I
her car, and like
Yeah.
she's
I thought it
wearing
was,
like
yeah.
yeah, like oh you don't have money or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean even that was like a stretch for me. So I was like I don't
Hmm.
know. Yeah, it was
That was
definitely
it.
one of those like huh
Yeah.
what?
I was just
Yeah.
something's
And
going
then
on
you like
here. We'll
store
find
that
out.
away for later, and then I completely forgot until the very end.
Yes. Yep.
And they
Until
brought it
the
up, and I was
very end.
like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
I will say I do appreciate that it is a heavy film,
It
Yeah.
is.
but there are, and I don't know if it's on purpose, but there are some comedic moments, like comic relief moments, specifically with Taraji's line when she's like, sit down. Where's the bathroom? Like,
Yeah.
get her a chair, and I don't know if it was purposeful to be, I mean, I laughed in those moments. Did you guys find them funny or?
I don't know. I really didn't laugh.
Oh my God. Owen and
I
I
know, I'm like,
laughed. But do you know the moments I'm talking about? Like,
When
yes,
she was
yeah.
in control when in the bank, there was moments that I like smiled but laughing, no, there was like no
oh.
laughing for me.
I think for me, because I could just sense her unraveling and the
Yeah.
like desperation of like trying to get through to people of this
Mm,
situation that she's in, and they're
yeah.
probably looking at her like she's crazy, and like she just wanted her money for her paycheck,
Yeah.
like
Which
plain and simple. And it just like wasn't happening, and it totally escalated, and things are out of her control. So like I could just feel this desperation from her. So I didn't laugh. I didn't think that was funny, but I
I
but
thought
I know
there
what you mean.
okay, so maybe it wasn't on purpose because
No,
there
no,
were
no.
moments
I
where I was
do
like,
I
think
mean, it's uncomfortable
the thing
too.
is also we're used to her doing comedy so well too. So
Sure.
I
she's
think
funny.
knowing her as, not as a person because we're not friends with her, but like seeing interviews of her and all this stuff, and also that this is how a person would act too when you're in that stress level and with anxiety. Like sit the fuck
Right.
down. Like
Yeah.
what are we doing here? Yeah, I'm in control of this.
Hmm.
But I just wanted to bring this comparison that I thought about because this film is like the worst day of your fucking life, you
Yeah.
know? But then we also have a comedy that is like this, and it's one of them days.
Mm,
How you
Yes.
can, you know, tell these stories very deeply in two different ways, a
it's true.
mother, and then this one is a young girl, with her only responsibility is herself and basically her roommate, you know. So I thought about that because I kept thinking when I watched one of them days, I was like, damn, that's the worst fucking day you could have as a person.
It is. That
But
was
then
the
I watched this one and I was like, no, wait a minute.
Hold my beer.
Yeah. One of them days it's like okay, compared to the one from
Yeah.
Straw. That is a horrible day because let's talk for a second about the moment when her car breaks down. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
With
This
that
is
cop.
With
yeah,
the
this is after the cop runs her off, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I was
well, first
like,
of all, the cop is a fucking asshole, and it was a good representation of what we see here and what happens day to day.
mhm.
But to have that moment of this motherfucker being an asshole, and thank goodness this woman cop comes in and helps her out, but not really. It's like, hey, I still gotta give you a ticket and I gotta take your car. And the car, when she's about to leave, before it wouldn't fucking turn on,
Mm-mm.
And in the rain.
and in the rain.
I was
Of
like, it
course.
just gets worse and worse and worse today.
Yeah.
Like, of course this would happen.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like when you think it can't get any worse.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, that was like another thing too. We were like, this is so Tyler Perry with that cop being like, if I could, I'd blow your fucking
Blow your
brains
brains
out. And I'm
out.
like, whoa,
Whoa.
That
okay, that's
escalated
like,
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it
yeah,
was
like
like it was a little
a
bit
little
too
extreme.
right.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
extreme.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
I was
I
like,
understand that he's probably trying to represent how certain
Yeah.
cops,
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't need to
um,
take it that far. It was already uncomfortable.
yeah, I was
they
like,
Yeah.
abuse their power, and
Yeah.
some of them are super racist. Like we've seen it in the news, we
Yes.
get it, but like that was like a little much for me.
it
I
was.
was like, Mr.
Whoa.
Perry.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
take a chill pill.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
He's a
But
pap for sure.
obviously, oh, such a pap. But obviously, like, this has to play into like things escalating and like getting to where they are and the plot, like,
Right, because that's when she becomes terrified of him, where she's like, I'm not
which
leaving the
totally
bank
fair.
Yes.
until he's
gone.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't blame her. We'll talk about that more later. But
Yeah. she also gets evicted, you know, and
oh, and her shit is in the street and it's still raining.
Broke my heart, guys.
Oh my
When
God.
she grabs her daughter's backpack.
Oh, that was sad.
That was heartbreak. Like that was the moment that the knot started here for me. I mean, the knot started like when she got to her job all wet, and the guy was like, "Fuck you, you're fired, and you're not getting your check."
Dude, that just made me mad.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I want to punch him. Why is he such a fucking asshole? Come on.
Yeah,
the check is like right. She's like, the check is right there. Just give it to him.
There.
I would have grabbed it. I would have been like, fuck you. I'm going to go get my check.
I literally would have kicked him in the nuts and gone and grabbed that check and been like, you can like call the police for assault, but like I'm getting my damn money. I earned that check.
Yeah. Since he didn't like that she was wet, I would have been like this with my hair. And be like, I'm sorry. Let me go grab my check. I grab it and I'm like, I'll get you wet again. You know?
That your superpower?
Yeah, that would be a superpower because it's like, you look at you, you're all wet. And it's like, fuck you.
It's fucking raining.
Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, that part after that, when she goes home and her stuff is outside getting completely wet, and she's like, it's like that breaking point where she feels like, I cannot catch a fucking break. I can't catch a fucking break.
Her just like screaming.
Yes. Right. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then what are the fucking chances that she goes to get that check and
they get held up?
And there's a robbery going on.
Tyler Perry.
This one's like Tyler Perry.
I was like, of course.
Yeah. But you know, like I think about it and because this now that we know what happens, you know, her reaction to everything was very fucking normal. You know, she was having a psychotic breakdown after what she endured the night before. You know, that she probably felt like she couldn't catch her breath all night, and this is why she woke up, you know, probably, I don't even know, there must be a name for that mentally, where you pretend it didn't happen when you lose somebody.
PTSD.
Well, yeah, but I think there must be a name specifically when you're grieving and you pretend that didn't happen. So you like keep living like that person still exists. And I'm sure there's like a psychological name for it. Listeners, please let us know. And then the whole day she pretends, you know, her daughter is very much alive, and it's a way of her, you know, to protect herself the whole time. You know, she's protecting, her feelings, and she has these like little bursts here when she like she kills her boss, which I'm sorry, I would have done the same.
It.
He deserved it, but I remember that scene and I gasped so loud because I did not see that coming. I was like, oh my God, what now?
I didn't think she would do it because you see, like, she's such like a nice person and she just keeps getting beat down, and she's not really saying or doing anything about it.
Yeah.
But again, the name of this movie is Straw, so it's like the last straw. So it's like just him telling the cops like, I'm gonna put you in jail, and just that was like her breaking point. And she's like, you know what, bitch? Ow.
Yeah. Goodbye, bitch.
Pow.
Yeah.
Pew, pew. And also in the first one, she was literally just defending herself, although she was trying to grab that money, but she was defending herself. But I would have grabbed some of the money too. I would have negotiated
just give me one. Give me.
I'd be like, yo, I gotta get some medicine
for my daughter.
Just give me a little $100.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me a couple hundreds.
Just like a little bit. Take the rest.
A little bit. Take the rest. Yeah. You won't miss
And that,
$300.
yeah. And that motherfucker boss saying like, you were in it. You were part of
He knew
this.
your name.
Oh my gosh. She's like, because he's not my name tag.
Right.
That whole thing was heartbreaking right there when they like kind of show it slow motion to like her name tag, so we're all aware except to that fucking Pab. So I think, yes, Trace.
I'm so sorry. So
Yes.
you asked the psychological term for
Yes.
like when someone loses someone and they act like it didn't happen. I had to Google it. Sorry. So it's called absent grief or inhibited grief. So it manifests as a denial of the loss or a suppression of typical grieving behaviors, often due to shock or avoidance.
Wow.
Mm,
Yeah,
So
I knew
absent
that it had
grief.
to be a term. That's good to know.
That's strong. That's like it's insane how powerful the brain is.
I mean,
Yeah,
they had to name it something because this happens
so much.
obviously so
Hmm.
much.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks,
I'm so
Tracy.
sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, no, no.
but
Thank
now
you.
we know.
Now
Now we know.
we can all sleep in peace,
Yeah.
because then they was gonna stay in our heads.
Absent
Well,
grief.
also you're like, I knew it. I'm right.
Like, I know it, baby.
No.
Um, so this is the moment where she's like, I need to go to the bank with my bloody ass check and get it cashed, you
With the
know?
gun.
Which with the gun, which she didn't take the gun out first,
Uh,
and let's all remind ourselves. And I remember saying to Owen, she never robbed the bank. She's not robbing the bank.
She's cashing the check.
She's just
she
catching her
wanted to
check.
cash her check.
And it's
Tessa,
and
get your shit together.
right.
Count
And she's
count
like,
out $521.
It's like, you need your ID. And she just puts the gun out. She
like
doesn't,
Yeah.
boom. She's like,
boom.
She's
no,
like, I
cash
just
the
want my
check.
money.
And this imbecile is just bringing out cash. And it's like, that's too much.
And
You
no
work
one's
in a
listening.
bank.
Right. No one's
Yeah.
listening
Like
to her.
you count money all day. You give her 5 $100 bills, a 20 and a single. What's so
But
hard?
but you know what's funny? That I think a person that works at a bank and this situation is happening, I think that would be their natural reaction. Like,
Sure.
here's all the money in the world. Like, I don't
Don't shoot
know.
me.
Yeah, don't kill me
Yeah.
here. Take it all. You
She's like,
know.
why are you crying? Why are you acting like that? I just want my money.
Oh God.
And
Yeah.
even when
I
the
wonder
manager comes
why.
out, she's like, I just want to cash my check. I just want her. She's giving me all this money. I
She's like,
just
I don't want all of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Can I
God.
just say real
Such good
quick
acting. Yeah.
that besides Taraji P. Henson obviously stealing the show, I actually really thought Sherri Shepherd did a really good job. She
yeah,
was
and
the only other person that I was like,
and also
beautiful.
like a different role for her because Sherri
Mhm.
Shepherd is usually like I think known for comedic roles.
Yeah, she's like
Yeah,
sassy and funny. So
yeah.
yeah,
So I
for
was
her, this
like,
was
okay, good job, good for you.
yeah, but I thought she was
Okay, girly
great in
pop.
it. Yeah,
Mhm. Like okay,
I enjoyed her
okay,
performance.
okay, good job, good job. Or
Yeah,
her little
I
bob.
thought she did great.
Yes.
Yeah, looking snatched in her
Right.
little
Okay, boss lady.
yeah.
Everything's under control.
Branch manager Nicole.
Right.
I
Um,
also love that we get like a little bit before of that part when she goes to the bank to get the money out and to get in the ATM and it tells her insufficient funds.
oh yes, I forgot about that.
I just remember that. And
Which
we
sucks.
get like that kind of interaction with like Nicole already. And it's just, it's so heartbreaking because I didn't know that that happened. I didn't know that banks can do that. Like you can take money out like at the minimum or some shit like that. It says insufficient funds. So that already I was like, oh my God, the money for the lunch. Obviously not knowing, but you know, um, just having her have that moment with her, it just gave us also like foreshadowing of them connecting again, in a
Yeah,
different way, in a very
right.
different way. Um, but yeah, Tessa couldn't get her shit together.
God.
She
And then
was so Gen Z.
Yes.
Sorry,
She was. Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I
Like when
said
the
it.
old lady was like, then shut up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, because she was
Yes.
like,
No.
she has a bomb. Then shut up.
Yeah. Like,
That's
shut
what
the
I was
fuck
like, yeah,
up.
shut up.
Yeah.
Girl, shut
Yeah.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God, you're
it's
gonna
so
get us
funny that
killed.
they thought that she had a bomb too.
Oh, that
Like
was
they
funny.
didn't that they didn't even ask. I'd be like,
Yeah.
is that an explosive in your bag?
And
I'm
she
not
just
going
kept
to
taking it
assume.
out.
Oh
Like,
my God, when they were like,
nothing.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah,
When they found out that it wasn't a bomb, I laughed so hard.
I
I was
know.
like, you fucking idiots.
Right.
And then like how it's the whole I'm sorry, I found so many parts funny. Like when she let that old couple would just walk out like nothing, you
Oh
know?
my
He was
God.
like,
Yes.
I ain't staying for this shit. Just they leave and she's like,
He's like, I ain't staying for this shit. And then Storms, I was like,
yeah,
what?
he's like, I fought in wars. Fuck
Yeah.
this.
Right.
I was in
Yeah.
Vietnam.
Yeah,
But
he
also,
walked
and the
out.
door open.
Right. And I was like, what the fuck is everybody else still doing there? Walk out.
Yeah, and
Right,
also it's
right.
like, again, it's what you said, Joe. She didn't come to rob the
The
bank.
bank. She didn't come to rob the bank.
No, she was
Speak
just desperate. She just
speaking
wanted
of
her money.
right. Speaking of walking out, have you guys seen the TikTok trend of people imitating Teyana Taylor, the cop?
Oh yes,
I have not.
it's so. I saw a guy. I
Oh
saw a guy
my
do it with like the
God.
wig and be like,
Wait, I gotta show. I'm gonna see if
oh.
I can show it on the screen, but
Please.
so
Please.
good.
Listen, I
I
will
s-
say her acting was not the best,
Oh
but
God, that was so
yo,
bad.
she is fucking
Stunning.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah.
fucking
Like,
gorgeous.
wow, I think
Beautiful.
I
Okay,
might be a little gay. Happy Pride.
I found the one that I really do like. Let me see if I can show it on the screen. I don't know if
I love that. We're ready to see a tickety talk.
Okay, here we.
Sorry for the podcast listeners.
Yeah. Oh.
Where's the big return?
It, ooh. It's true. She is
Guys
in
listening,
charge,
for those who are
stomping them
listening,
heels.
if you have TikTok and you haven't seen this trend, go on TikTok. Just all you have to put in the search is Teyana Taylor the straw. It will pop up. You'll see
Oh
all the
God, that's so
challenges.
fucking funny.
She is gorgeous and her ass. Woo, fire.
I mean,
yeah.
listen, her whole body, it's
body,
and like
sick.
even the way she was like standing all the time, you
Her
know.
hair, her makeup. I'm like, damn, this girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of detective shows up to work looking like that? I was like, that girl looked like.
She slept 8 hours for sure.
Snatched.
For sure.
Yeah.
Shit, ain't she a single mom? I'm like, okay.
Okay, queen.
And that was so funny about her character too, where it was like, of course she had a single mother and now she's a single mother, and
mhm.
she's of course going to be the only one who
That
comes up with this
understands her.
theory of,
Yes.
oh well, maybe it was just she had a bad day and she snapped.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it was just too perfect. But I was like,
Yeah.
such a coincidence. She's like, what
And
if she
the
just had a bad day and
and a
snapped? I was like,
person live streaming from inside.
And then all those people showing up, free Janaya, free Janaya. And I'm like, really? People are going to be showing up outside this bank robbery,
Yeah.
quote unquote,
Yeah.
that's happening and holding up signs to free her.
Yeah.
Classic
little-
Tyler Perry. But
a little bit random, but this movie reminded me a lot of John Q. Have you guys ever watched John Q? With
Yes.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah. I haven't seen that in so fucking long. But I see what you mean, Joe.
You haven't seen a trailer, Tracy?
no.
Isn't that like late 90s?
No, there's like early 2000s.
But still, it's
You should
oh,
watch-
it's like 2 years.
whatever.
2
Tracy,
years difference.
I watch it. I recommend it. It's a very good movie.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I mean, it's Denzel, of course.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very good movie, very emotional. Highly recommend it. So
Mhm.
watch it if you can.
Recommendation station.
Yes.
let's get back to it. So this whole thing happens in the bank. She finally lets them get out. And the manager is the one that is like, no, I'm coming out with you because as we understand at the end of the movie is that Nicole already knew that her daughter had passed away.
Which I had a question about that because she
I
said
have
something
no
like, they
idea in what
told me.
Yeah,
And I was like, when?
we
I
did.
have a theory. I think that when Nicole received the call from the alarm, and remember the I don't know who she was talking to, as a detective or someone. They said, "Is it Janiyah? Her name is Janiyah Wilkinson, whatever."
Wilkinson, yeah.
Right. And then the camera cuts to Janiyah and
Uh-huh.
the girl, the bank teller. I
Right.
think it came up in that conversation, and obviously they didn't let the viewer see that
Yeah,
part
yeah,
because
yeah.
they didn't want
The
to.
surprise. They
Yes.
wanted the
So,
surprise.
which
Yeah.
would make sense that Nicole knew the whole time, which is also why she was
Why she was so caring.
Right. She
so
was so
caring and
caring. Yes.
sympathetic to her because she knew that
She knew
this
from the beginning.
tragedy had happened. So
Yeah.
she was like, she's having a bad day, so let's take it
Mhm.
easy.
Mhm.
Okay,
And
I
then
can
if
see
you
that.
notice, because I watched it a second time, there's a scene, and this is a really good acting moment for Sherri Shepherd. There's a scene halfway through the film. They're sitting now. Remember, she
Yeah.
get them all chairs, and um Janiyah doesn't want to talk on the phone. She
Mhm.
doesn't want to. The phone keeps ringing, and
Mhm.
Sherri says to her, Nicole says to Janiyah, you should answer the phone, or you should you should comply, because whatever you do can bring you back to your daughter. But it's the way that she says it. Like she thinks about
Got it. Like to reality.
right. She's just like, she pauses and then she's like, it can bring you back to your daughter. And it's like, that's when I was like, ooh, that's a good acting choice. Like the second I didn't notice it the first time, obviously, because I'm thinking the daughter's still alive. I'm thinking it's just, she's just saying the line. But then watching the second time, you notice it. And I was like, oh, good job. Good for you, Sherri. And then I caught it. I caught that clue. It's the tone that she uses in her facial expression. So she's known the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's very good. So that's
My thing too is like when the FBI come in and they're like, we're taking over. And then that
Oh
fucking
my God.
asshole who like, we're not talking anymore. And they're like, dude, seriously. You're like, the FBI, I'm pretty sure probably does not do that. Like they want to
No.
de-escalate the situation. So it's
Yeah.
my thing is Taraji is not being
Listen
unreasonable.
to.
Yes, well, that too. Like she just wanted $521. She wanted to cash her paycheck,
Which she was entitled to.
Absolutely. And then she said, get that cop away. That's all she wanted. That should have taken 2 fucking minutes. Get him out of there, and then they could have walked out and it would have been fine.
Exactly.
So like, why the build up? Like that just, I know it's a movie, but I was like, this movie could have been over in like 10 minutes. And they're like, we've been here for 12 hours. And I was like,
damn.
What? And she walked in when the bank was closing at 4. So it's 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was like, wait, it's been 12 hours and there's still people protesting. They don't have jobs to go to.
I'll be like, I know, I'm
no
tired.
Food, no
I'm
water.
Like, I'll check in the morning to see
with
if
the door open. Don't forget.
Yeah.
I'll check in the morning to see if Janiyah's in jail.
Yeah, that would have been like me protesting 1 hour. I'm like, that's all you get. I'm sorry, guys.
We get election results like at 11:30 or midnight. Even I don't wait up for that.
Yeah.
You're like, it's 9 p.m. I have to go home and watch Love Island.
Exactly.
Right, literally. I you know, when I find out, when I get up to pee in the middle of the night, I check the election results and be like, oh, it's that piece of shit.
Yeah.
Literally.
You're like, we're gonna burn down again. Okay.
Right. Yeah. It's all over. It's coming to an end finally.
Ah, God. But I agree with you, Tracy. Okay, let's talk about really quick how will we fix this movie. Because I think it's a great storyline. You know,
it has a good concept.
It's such a good concept.
Like the bare bones are there.
Yes.
Mhm.
I have an idea. I
Okay,
think
let's
that
hear
if
it.
the film, well, one, we should not make those moments that you mentioned, like the cop freaking out that way, her boss freaking out that way. Like I feel like the boss could have, he started at 1,000, and I felt like maybe he could have started at 100 and then make it up that way.
Yeah, there was
Um,
no build.
and
He
instead
just
of
started up there.
right, and instead of right, and instead of like consolidating all into one day, maybe if we would have stretched that out into like a week, like where
Like a build up for her too.
and we needed a build up because I think that was the main thing, that everything was at 1,000, and it was
Mhm.
within a matter of like one day where I'm like, whoa, 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 like
Yeah.
hold on a second. I think just that would make the movie way better. Of course, there's other details, but
Yeah.
that's that for starters. That's what I'll say.
Okay. Um, well, I agree with you on the like, for example, the whole first, like I would take away many things. Like the protest, unnecessary, take it out. The live streaming, take that shit out too.
Mhm.
I think it's unnecessary, you
Okay.
know. The FBI, the conflict between the FBI and the cops, I would keep it. I wouldn't make it important, you
Mm.
know. You know, it's something on the side. Now, something that I would have liked to see is because again, Taraji's performance was top tier. And I think we could have just focused on that and a way of her figuring out herself that her daughter had passed away.
Mm.
But
Instead of
little
the phone call
instead of being like a phone call to mom, oh, she died. Yeah, like
last
no.
night.
Yeah, like not like that.
Mhm.
I wanted it to be like, the manager helping her realize that, but like little by little, like tell me about this morning. How was she? Like something very slow, take advantage of that intimate moment. And take out the music. You don't need any ballads in the background.
Yeah.
She's so good. You don't
Mhm.
need any of that shit. I was like, sometimes I would hear it in the movie and I was like, oh, why is there music right now? Unnecessary. That would be
Yeah,
like
Okay.
my
I
one
mean,
thing.
I think like the big thing is the fact of her daughter dying,
Yeah.
and I mean, okay, yeah, there's the twist at the end for the audience, but I
Hmm.
think we can maybe take that away and kind of let us know more in the beginning so that it's like everything that continues to happen to her, like you really understand why she just e- explodes.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And like the whole thing of her when she goes to the school and they're like child protective services shows up and they take her away, like that whole thing is imagined in her head, but that's then they show you her going to the school for real, and the woman who waves at her all weird is like,
Yeah.
we didn't call you down here. So like I don't know,
Yeah.
that whole bit just needs to be rewritten, revised, because
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was like, I don't know, it was just weird, and I feel like that's such a huge part of the story
Yeah.
is like what happens with her daughter.
Yeah.
And I think he wanted it to be a shock for the audience, but like
And
it
listen, I
doesn't
think
have to
if
be.
you focus, because let's do this too. He focused on the story and the message. But if you create it like focusing on her point of view, you can also kind of like disappear that like you can also like take it can also be a surprise at the end,
Yeah.
and you can actually, do some research about, the psychological state that she was in and,
Hmm.
navigate, talk to victims and people that have gone through it and create the story from there. And it could have still been a surprise. So
Sure.
like I kind of like the twist at the end. I like that. I was like, oh God, this makes so much sense.
Hmm.
But I think there were better ways for him to surprise us with it.
Right.
Like I had zero suspicion that this was even, a way that it could go. Um, and I wish I would have had like a little bit of a hint even at the end before finding out. I wanted to be like, maybe her daughter isn't alive, you know?
Mhm.
Like just even if it's like 10 minutes before figuring it out, to have that
Right.
satisfaction of I knew it, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think
That whole thing, it just needs
yeah,
revision.
yeah. But again, like the concept, what you guys said, it's so good.
Because I mean, unfortunately, this is something that happens. Like there are a lot of single parents, people of, Black, Latinx, Asian, like minorities who unfortunately are dealing with white people, I guess. Like they deal with these issues,
Yeah.
and it's like they can't catch a break and they're trying. So it's like something within in our system, it needs to change,
Yeah.
So and like mental health and taking care of people and our healthcare system, just like all these things. So it's like I understand there are so many important issues and like I appreciate that. It was just like all of it wrapped together. It definitely could have been done in a better way. Like the dialogue for me is just so cheesy and like most of the acting and just like the scenarios, it's like an eye roll. But at the base
music.
of it, but at the base of it, like the story is good and I appreciate what Tyler Perry was trying to do.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have fun facts, T-Bone?
I do have a few things, yes.
Oh, I'm ready. I can't wait.
So the movie was filmed in 4 days.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
4 days.
No fucking way. Taraji did that in 4 fucking days.
Which
That's impressive as fuck.
I mean for that crew and everything and the actors, that is. And I mean, Tyler Perry is not new to the game. He's made a lot of movies.
Yeah.
He's worked in the film industry for a while. So that also says for him, like, he's very much of like, let's go.
Let's get to work.
Yeah. So yeah, 4 days.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. Sherri Shepherd said in an interview that she didn't like the original name of her character, which was Henrietta, and had Tyler Perry change it. Thank God.
Yes.
Yeah, that one sounds really aggressive.
Henrietta.
It's also too long for
Yeah.
the movie, like for the dialogue. It's too long.
Yeah, she wasn't a Henrietta.
No, she wasn't.
No. Perry initially considered a tragic ending where Janiyah would die, but ultimately decided against it, believing it would be too devastating for the audience. So I imagine when we see the like FBI come crashing through the ceiling and they shoot her,
which was
like he probably wanted to end it that
The door
way.
was open, guys.
Yeah.
Literally.
I was like, what was the point? That we could cut that out.
Yeah, why are they crashing through the ceiling? No.
Calm down, everyone.
The way that I was just like,
yeah.
So dramatic.
Yeah.
The green laser light.
Yeah.
yes.
My thing is like she didn't even move the gun and they're like, pew.
Yeah. Oh, God.
What the so
she falls. I was like, no.
That whole scene was unnecessary, but I'm imagining that's how he wanted to end it.
And I'm glad that she survived because that would have been really disappointing.
Yeah, I would have been mad.
I agree. So the homeless person, I think his name was Benny.
I read about that.
That's Sinbad.
Yeah.
Yes. And he actually, I didn't know this, he had a massive stroke in 2020.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, and like Tyler Perry really wanted him to be in like one of his movies, and he was like, you know what, why don't you play this part? And he was like, he crushed it. So I mean, he did do a good job. Okay, so some interpretations suggest that the film is inspired by a story it's true. It's of Brian Brown Easley. He was a Marine veteran who he held up a bank. And they did make it into a movie in 2022 called Breaking with John Boyega, who's in the like Star Wars movies. He plays
Oh,
Finn.
I heard of this movie.
Yeah, so
I didn't watch it, but I've heard of it.
I haven't watched it either. So I feel like this was sort of like a lower budget
Version. Okay.
version of this, but a little bit of that, because I've never seen the movie. I don't really remember this happening.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, I just want to like go over real quick if you're
Yeah.
interested.
Go for it.
Okay. So Brian Brown Easley was a former U.S. Marine and a Lance Corporal who served in Iraq and Kuwait. After an honorable discharge in 2005, he returned to Georgia and he struggled with mental health issues and homelessness.
So sad.
In 2017, he was 33. He entered a Wells Fargo bank in Marietta, Georgia, and told employees he had a bomb, and he took 2 hostages. And when his disability payments from the Department of Veteran Affairs suddenly stopped, he had just snapped, making the desperate decision to hold up that bank. And he just wanted $892 that he needed to pay for rent and child support. And he didn't have a bomb. And he insisted in calls to authorities and reporters that he did not intend to harm anyone. But after 3 hours, he was shot in the head by a sniper and he died instantly.
Oh,
So,
poor baby.
right. So it's like this shit does happen, where it's like you have single mom, or like you have a military vet who has PTSD. Like, these are people who are just trying in our society to work and be decent people and make a living for themselves and their families. And it's like, we don't give a shit about people.
Yeah.
Tracey, are you getting choked up?
I am. It's really, it's upsetting.
Oh.
It really is. It really is. And the fact that what we do with our money in this country is to fund wars, it makes it even more upsetting when people here need help.
And you have people spending $200 million in Venice on a fucking wedding. That money could go to people who really need it, who are trying to do something in this world.
And let's point out that it's the second wedding. It wasn't his first time. Ever.
They're gonna be divorced in 2 years.
Hell yeah. What a fucking embarrassment.
Also, like, just the fact that it was so specific. He's like, I just need $892. Just want to pay my rent and I just want to pay my child support. I'm not asking for anything else. Like, I'm not being selfish. I'm not being greedy.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's all I need.
I need $521 to pay my rent and give my kid $40 for her lunch.
That's it.
That's
it.
Oh my God. Heartbreaking. Well, thank you, Tracey. And we feel what you feel. We understand.
I'm hoping if you have a heart, it should affect you.
Yeah. 100%. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys the scores. So Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a 52, but the audience gave it a 70.
Okay.
Because I do think what matters here in this kind of film is the message. And the leading role was Taraji, and she nailed it. And those are the two things that we really care about. And now that you told me that they filmed that in 4 days, that's
so
very,
that is
very
impressive. Yeah.
And then IMDb gave it a 6.5 out of 10. So what do we all give it? I give it 2 thumbs up.
I give it a thumbs up. I give it 2 thumbs. I give it a thumb and a half.
Like, I would never be like, no, I don't recommend this movie.
No, I recommend it for sure.
Yeah. To everyone. What about you, T?
I'd give it a thumb up. I mean, like I said, it is a very important message. I think it is realistic in the idea of it.
Yeah.
Taraji P. Henson, amazing. I did like Sherri Shepherd's performance. So for that, the give it a thumb.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to see which one. So which one is the audience and the critics? The audience is the tomato meter. No, the audience is the popcorn
The
meter.
popcorn, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always trust the audience more because sometimes critics,
They have a stick up their ass.
yeah, they do.
sometimes.
They-
They can be very pretentious.
They love to hate.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh well, I didn't like the, and it's like, just please shut up.
But also, that's why when they love, it matters a lot. You know?
That's true.
Right.
That's when it's like a high score, we're like, oh fuck. Although we still think about the zone of interest, and oh god, that
Oh,
no.
did you see the New York Times came out with their top 100 movies
Mhm.
of the 21st century,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Zone of Interest was like 5 or 4. Like it
Yeah.
was like way high up there, and I was
Yeah.
like, really?
I get it.
Did I miss something?
It's I
We all-
think again, it's like the message, because
Yeah.
at the end
Like,
of the
yeah, I
day,
get
it
it,
was
but-
very boring. I was
No.
like, I don't want to keep hearing this thing. We already know, you
Yeah,
know.
no.
It's
I just think like there are other Holocaust movies that are just
I agree.
so much better.
All right.
A Beautiful
So-
Life.
Oh my
La Vida
god.
Mhm.
Seriously.
And the pajama boy.
Oh,
The boy with
in
the striped pajamas or
Yes.
something like that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, like
I'll
just-
never forget the day that Nicole was like, "You need to watch this movie," and I was like, "I don't want to." She was like, "Watch it," and I hate her for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traumatized.
yeah.
It's one of those
I had
movies
no
that
idea what was happening at
you
that
always
moment.
cry. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're always gonna cry.
PTSD.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey, Parasite is #1. What do we think about that?
I agree.
Excellent movie.
Yeah.
Excellent
I
fucking
think it's
movie.
so good.
No notes.
No,
Excellent
no.
fucking
Perfect.
movie.
Yeah. Well deserved.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
such a good movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I
This
guess
one wasn't
that's
bad
it.
either. So
Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
yeah,
Thanks
I'm
for
so
having
glad
me.
you came.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry we pulled you
Last
in last
minute.
minute.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for
But
making
we
time.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back to my Love Island USA binge.
I have new episode tonight at 9.
Oh gosh.
I need to go finish the second season of Traders Australia.
Oh, T, I watched the first season, and dare I say,
It's so good.
it's I don't want to
Chill.
say
Get on the boat.
yeah, I don't want to
I
say
gotta finish
it's
Love
I
Island
don't want to
first.
say it's better than Traders USA because of the
Yeah.
host. I don't want to say that. But the games and the challenges in the Australian one, I'm like, okay, there's some
It's
mind
good.
here thinking there's money for it.
Yeah.
I was very impressed because I was ready
Mhm.
to hate it.
Yeah. Don't watch New Zealand. Like, don't even waste your time. Like, it's a fucking joke.
Okay, I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I
don't.
watched UK,
UK is great.
USA, and now
Excellent.
Australia.
Perfect. That's all you need.
Okay, perfect. Well, okay, that's it for recommendation station again. Thank you
I'll
guys for
never stop.
listening. Joe, thank you for joining us last minute. And
For having me.
yeah, of course. And that's it, guys.
Oh, and I guess when this comes out, happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy
That
4th
is
of
true.
July.
Wait, the
I
4th is
guess. But I'm
Friday.
like not really proud to be an American.
No,
so,
fuck
Not
no.
like,
today. Not today. Today I'm
That's what I'm
Dominican.
like is yeah, exactly. So like it's happy 4th question mark?
Embarrassing.
You're like, I guess happy?
Yeah. Well, how about this? We should make it a goal to like go do something nice for somebody.
Yes. Yeah.
For
I
the
agree.
Janayas out there.
Yes.
Yes. Go make a donation.
Make
like,
a donation. Do
I'm
something
gonna do
good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Well,
Nice.
okay, guys. Thank you for listening. Rate, review, and subscribe. And that's pretty much it.
Until next time.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.